So today I'm going to introduce this amazing tool that it got a major upgrade. It's equipped with Google Gemini algorithms and large language model. So this is basically a very simple tool that it will save you hours and hours of research time. If you're a student, if you're a consultant, or if you're a business owner in civil engineering or any other businesses, any other industries that you have, this thing is an important tool in your tool build. This is pretty much easy. It's upload your resources, everything you have, your links, your websites, your YouTube links, your PDFs, documentation, everything that you have in your organization as far as the codes, the standards, policies, technical resources, everything. You upload it to NotebookLM and it will read it in a matter of minutes for you. So for example, you have tens of thousands of pages of documents for the historical documents, everything related to your organization. Just upload it to NotebookLM and it will read it and memorize it in a matter of seconds. And not just another notebook. This one thinks for you. Imagine every policy or every document that you have distilled, connected, and working as your personal assistant. Research that takes months done in hours. Training your employees, what used to take weeks now take days. No endless meetings, no manual digging. And here is the game changer. You can talk to it, ask NotebookLM anything from your data that you uploaded it, as if you're having a conversation with the founder or subject matter expert of your organization. Need insights? Need clarity? Just ask and it'll answer. One notebook, infinite possibilities. Stay with me. This is the tool you have been waiting for. Let's break it down. So here is the step-by-step tutorial for use cases for civil engineers or civil engineering businesses. For example, here the website is notebooklm.google, and you're here, you want to try it, and let's try it. So once you try, you can sign in with your Google Gmail account. So this account is already, I had a Gmail account and I created it. It's very simple onboarding. And I already tested out with two different items that I really wanted to do some research on. So the first one, I just wanted to know more or compare these three major states, like how they're building or constructing their bridges, basically. What are some nuances, some innovative materials that they're using? Everything is available online, it's public. So I looked it up, everything online, and I downloaded it and then upload here all these PDFs. So for example, from New York State Department of Transportation, I downloaded their standard specifications. There are like 4 volumes of a standard specification. So I downloaded everything locally on my computer and then uploaded here as part of resources. When you click on here, add source, so you're clicking add source, choosing file from your computer, or a link from YouTube link or any website link, or just like a rich text format or RTF. So you can paste it right there. So there are limits for 50 sources, so I found 11 sources. So 11 is still pretty much a large amount of data that you're uploading it to here. So a scenario, just to make it more real for you, imagine you have a new right out of college employees hired and came to your company, and how to train them. Training employees are very important for success of your organization. I uploaded everything here, so get back to here. You can literally chat with it as well, but that's nothing new, right? That's pretty much simple. And ChatGPT or these other LLM language models, they can do it for you. The cool thing about this tool is that you can talk to it in a podcast format. So for example, this is very interactive mode of this. So click play. So it created a 60 minutes based on all these resources, a 60-minute podcast out of it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at construction standards.
Yeah, to kind of make sure everything we build is built right, from bridges to fences, the whole 9 yards.
And we've got some great docs to dig into. You sent over some stuff from the Florida DOT, New York State.T, even Washington State.T.
Yeah, should be a good mix.
So we'll compare them, see what's what.
Yeah, dive into the nitty-gritty.
I think some people might be pretty surprised by what we find.
So you can see how naturally they're approaching and they're dissecting all these resources that you just uploaded to them. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to try to interrupt and ask a question from them, okay, before they're finishing their thoughts.
To be honest, I know I was when I first looked this stuff over,
Right.
especially that flow.
Oh, wait. Someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
Hey guys, I have a quick question. Could you please elaborate on how Florida Department of Transportation utilizes fiber reinforced polymer in Florida's bridges?
Absolutely. It's a great question. Let's unpack this.
Yeah, we can definitely dive into that.
So the Florida DOT, they actually have a whole section dedicated to fiber reinforced polymers, or FRPs, in their structures manual.
Okay, interesting. So it's a pretty big deal then.
It is. What's fascinating is they're using them for things like reinforcing bars, for stressing strands, and even structural shapes.
Okay, so it's not just one type of application.
Exactly. The manual outlines specific design criteria for FRP composites.
Okay,
And they are very specific about quality control, too, making sure that the FRP materials meet their standards.
that's good. You want to make sure the materials are safe.
Definitely. They even have a list of approved facilities for FRP production.
That's very thorough.
And it's not just bridges either. It's also for things like fender systems and stay-in-place formwork for decks.
Okay, that's a good range of applications.
We could definitely talk more about the specifics of those later as we get further into the manual.
Right, yeah, let's keep that in mind.
And remember that
So you saw like how short but comprehensive the answer to that question was. Yes, Florida does have FRP or fiber reinforced polymer materials, and they're going to use it in A, B, and C. So then they cut it and continued to their podcast. So let me jump in and ask something about Washington State here.
FRPs are not just for new construction.
Oh, okay.
They're also used for strengthening and repairing existing structures.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, which is
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Hey guys, could you shed some light on innovative approaches of Washington Department of Transportation and designing and constructing bridges? What are some innovations?
that's a fantastic question. Let's unpack this.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about that.
So the Washington DOT, they're actually pretty forward thinking when it comes to bridge design and construction.
Okay, so they're pushing boundaries a bit.
Absolutely. What's interesting is their focus on accelerated bridge construction, or APC.
Oh,
And that involves using innovative methods to build or replace bridges faster.
yeah, less traffic disruption.
Exactly. For example, they use lateral slide systems,
What's that?
where they build a new bridge on a temporary alignment and then slide it into place.
Oh, wow.
And they use self-propelled modular transporters, or SPNTs, for moving huge sections of bridge.
That sounds like quite the operation.
It is. It allows for minimal traffic disruption during construction.
That's a huge plus.
And it's not just about speed. They also focus on aesthetics,
Okay,
trying to incorporate designs that fit with the surrounding environment.
that
So you can see how it analyzes through thousands and thousands of these pages. Like these are 4 volumes of New York State and Washington DOT. These are massive documents. There are hundreds and thousands of pages that they have, and how they find in a matter of seconds the answer to your question and puts it in a very natural, human-like conversation and it answers your question. It's just amazing, like how it summarizes all the content, and it's an amazing tool for the new engineers and new people on board, especially for with your policies or technical resources. I'm going to dive deep a little bit more into details. I'm trying to test it if it picks it up some statistics or numbers.
that's important.
Yeah. And they also encourage alternative designs if they make sense for the project.
That's a good way to make sure they're getting the best value.
Absolutely. And if you remember how we were talking about Florida's meticulous record keeping, Washington State shares that commitment to detailed documentation.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it's all about
Oh, yeah,
Hey guys, could you please pinpoint some of the major innovations in New York State DOT in terms of materials? What type of materials are they using? The innovative materials, I mean, and what kind of research has been done with respect to those materials?
Okay, that's a great question. Let's unpack this.
Yeah, New York State is doing some interesting things with materials.
It's not just about the designs or the construction techniques, but also the materials they use.
What's fascinating is how they approach these innovations in a very structured way.
Yeah, I noticed that. They have a pretty comprehensive manual on innovative materials and approaches.
Right. And they define innovative as anything that's new or unusual.
Okay, so not just new materials, but also new ways of using materials.
Exactly. For instance, if they don't have prior experience with a material or a method,
That makes sense.
or if the design isn't covered by existing specs, they classify that as innovative.
So it's a pretty broad category then.
It is. And if they use uncommon or single source materials. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Could you name those innovative materials that New York State DOT uses?
Absolutely, I can definitely do that for you.
Yeah, it's great that you're interested in specifics.
So New York State DOT uses a variety of materials, but it's not always about a brand new element,
Exactly. It's more about how they're using them,
like high performance concrete, for example.
which has, some really interesting properties.
It can be incredibly strong, which is great for bridge decks.
And it's also more resistant to cracking and deterioration.
Also, they're very particular about the steel they use.
Yeah, they have detailed standards that cover everything from chemical composition to physical tests. Ah, yeah, uh-huh.
You mentioned the high performance concrete. Could you elaborate more on the properties of this material that New York State DOT uses?
Absolutely. That's a great question, and it connects perfectly with what we were just discussing.
Yeah, we can definitely dive deeper into the properties of high performance concrete.
So when we talk about high performance concrete, it's not just about strength, although that is definitely one of its key features.
Right. I mentioned it can be incredibly strong, which is ideal for bridge decks that have to carry a lot of weight.
What's fascinating is how they formulate this concrete. It's not just your typical mix of cement, water, and aggregate.
Okay, so there are some extra ingredients.
Precisely. They use special admixtures.
Admixtures.
Yeah, these are chemical compounds that are added to the concrete mix to enhance certain properties.
Like what?
For example, they use water-reducing admixtures
Okay.
to create a more dense concrete mix with less water.
And that makes it stronger.
Exactly, and less porous.
Less porous.
Which means it's more resistant to the penetration of water, salts, and
And I tested all these conversations back with the resources, and it was amazing. Everything is based on resources. It doesn't know anything else other than the resources that you just uploaded to it. So I'm going to type here, for example, what is, for example, UHPC, and based on these materials and the content, it will give me an answer. The ultra high performance concrete is a concrete with a strength of more than 20,000 psi, with the steel fiber reinforcement, which and so on. So not only that, it also gives you the exact resource. So where or which resource they got it from. So they got it from New York State DOT Bridge Design Manual. So Bridge Design Manual is a public document online available. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So section 25, and the other one is section 5-5.12, and there's a LRFD 5.12. So it organizes everything for you, and whenever you need something to be answered, and it's 24/7, it helps you. It's just amazing how everything it gets summarized. So I found from their conversation the high performance concrete, and that was very interesting for me. I really wanted to gather more information on this, and I uploaded again. I did the same thing. I found the information online, downloaded locally, and uploaded back again here. So I'm trying to load it here. So right now, when you do the audio, it takes a little bit of time. So it depends on your resources. So the previous project, which was the comparison of the states, it was 60 minutes. Now this is 26 minutes because our resources are not that many. So here, let's turn on the interactive mode. The interactive mode, we can play it and listen to it a little bit, and then I'll interject again with them.
Performance concrete.
UHPC.
UHPC, yeah, and how it's shaking up the world of bridge design.
Yeah, big time.
You know, you sent over some really cool stuff for this deep dive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we've got excerpts from the AH2O guide for designing with UHPC
Mhm.
and a real world report from FHWA all about UHPC bridge deck overlays.
Nice.
So by the end of this, you'll know what makes UHPC so special.
Sure.
How engineers are having to change how they design to use this stuff and
Right.
why it's becoming so popular to make our bridges last longer.
It's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're moving past what regular concrete can do
We are, yeah.
into like a whole new world.
Totally, where bridges can be way stronger, last way longer, and maybe even be better for the planet.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Okay.
What exactly is UHPC? Is it just like concrete on steroids?
Uh-huh. It's easy to think of it that way.
Yeah.
So this is amazing, like how they're introducing it is concrete on steroids. So it's not a technical or professional way that in any of these documents it's written, but they're kind of exaggerating it or making it sound more natural or like human-like conversations. That aspect of this is just amazing. So concrete on steroids, that's pretty cool.
But UHPC is actually a whole bunch of different materials, not just one mix.
Oh, interesting.
What they all have in common is that they're super strong, basically waterproof.
Oh.
So in the documentation, it says it's a class of materials. They're not saying that technical jargon, but they're saying a bunch of materials. So it's basically, it means like that matrix of UHPC. So I guess this thing is okay.
All right, strap.
Oh, hey there, how can we help?
All right, could you elaborate more on the characteristics and properties of UHPC?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And it's key to understanding why UHPC is such a game changer.
Okay, let's unpack this. We mentioned how it's like concrete on steroids, but it's way more than that.
Exactly. So when we talk about characteristics, it's about the stuff that makes up UHPC.
Right, it's not just one recipe, it's a whole class of materials with a few common threads.
What's fascinating here is that it's usually got a super high amount of cement.
Yeah, more cement than your regular concrete, and that leads to some big differences.
And then you have these really fine aggregates, almost like a sand, with no coarse stuff.
And the secret ingredient, those tiny steel fibers that are mixed right in.
Those fibers are what give UHPC its ability to bend and flex, which is not something concrete.
Oh, go for it.
Do you know the tensile capacity of these steel fibers?
That's a really insightful question.
Yeah, let's dig into that a bit.
What's interesting is that we don't usually talk about the tensile strength of the fibers themselves in isolation.
Right, because they're always working as a team with the UHPC mix.
Exactly. Their main role is to allow the UHPC composite material to hold together when tension forces act on it.
So they're more about increasing the overall strain capacity of the concrete?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, they allow the UHPC to stretch 10 times further than normal concrete before cracking.
And that, in turn, is what gives it the ability to be used in more durable and lighter structures.
They create a kind of internal reinforcement, making it a totally different material.
And something else that's cool is that the pores are really tiny, so water can't get in.
That
So, did you notice how they dodged the question? So, this question that I asked, it was not part of these documentation that I sent it, but they put it in a very good way and introducing it that, okay, they're all acting in a team all together to provide the tensile capacity of the whole UHPC material, not only the fibers themselves. So it's pretty cool how they do the conversations.
discontinuous pore structure is really key to its incredible durability. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Do you have the tensile capacity of these steel fibers used in UHPC?
Okay, that's a great follow-up question.
Yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty of these fibers.
What's fascinating here is that the steel fibers themselves don't have a specific tensile capacity value listed for them.
Right, because they're always working together with the cement mixture.
Exactly, but we can talk about their overall effect on a composite.
So how they help the UHPC as a whole.
So as a second time, when I asked them, and they recognized it already that it's a follow-up question to my previous question, and they confessed that okay, we don't have that information based on the resources, but that's how they work all together. That is pretty cool, and you can build any other projects to create new, and once you put the create new and you're uploading, drag and dropping all these different types of your projects files into this, and you're creating another notebook for yourself. And that is pretty much it. That is NotebookLM, and it's a great tool if you're a PhD student, a graduate student, and you're doing a lot of research. This is a great tool for you. If you're using all these different sources, resources online, libraries, and you're creating and you're trying to do manual search on PDFs. So this will save you a lot of time. And that is pretty much the whole tool of Notebook LM. Thank you very much for your attention. Please hit that subscribe button and then put in the comments and anything that you wanted me to research more and find more information. Or if you're interested in automations, just let me know in the comments as well. Thank you very much. Take care.